I want to ask you about your own private practice, because I'm interviewing a few people for these episodes. I ask people, a, what's the relationship with money, for a very specific reason, because I feel like the younger people who meet me because of Artist Plus ask me to have conversations with bankers. Like there's this conversation. Everybody's become aware of finances and stuff like that. So as an artist, I want to ask you 2-3 questions wrapped in one. These long questions. One is, what is your relationship with money? Secondly, as an artist, do you even think, because you come from a family that is pretty well off? So, and when it, like, with, like, I know other printmakers, and we know other people who kind of don't have uh, the financial setup to do half the things you couldn't do. Everyone wishes they had a foundation and they set up stuff like yours. So then, when these people come to you for help, or when they come to say that, can you help, you have a, like, for example, you have a printing press.
Yes.
Do you do printing press? Do you make prints for people who don't have printing presses?
Yes, yes.
Or do you run it purely as a business? Or do you help people
We
also?
started, like I started the studio with an intention to for it to be a collaborative space to explore printmaking.
Yeah.
Slowly, like I have expanded it, and we have all facilities for various kind of prints
Yeah.
at the studio. So it's a fully functional print studio for, even we have a lot of students who come over or who want to do a project in print. They want to come and use the studio space.
Nice.
We love that energy around because we
Yeah.
get to learn so much from fellow printmakers also.
Yeah, that is bang on. Can I ask you questions about your private practice?
Yes.
How many modifications have happened in your work? Like, you earlier used to do these colorful ones. Now you've gone so black and white and hyper minimal, and you work with paper so much.
Yeah.
You're trying different stuff, like the accordion paper works and stuff like that. So can you just, I'm gonna ask you your private practices. Go for it. Just say, can you explain your journey from after college or before
Yeah.
college?
So I did my graduation in painting, but I chose printmaking because I somehow realized by the end that I love paper more than I love like canvas or like a medium where I could
Yeah.
just do paint.
Yeah.
Eventually, I've come to realize that I can mix print and painting together, but on paper. With years
Yeah.
down the line. I love also 3D. Like I love objects. Like I love ceramic. I took that as another subject during graduation plus practice. Now, eventually, I've tried to tie up all of it together. Also, studying in Colombia, doing the post diploma in printmaking in Colombia has really opened wider, like the possibility of doing printmaking in a wider range of using technology in print, using technology in art, which I think is important for today's generation because we are ruled with technology around the world.
Yeah.
And as a printmaker, I don't consider myself as a printmaker because I don't make editions of my works. They're usually single edition works.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't
This
have...
work doesn't have editions.
No, it's a single edition work. But I love using print techniques because I feel they allow me to say what I want to say in
It's
that. Yeah, it is so subtle. It has layers because if you've created on the paper, then you've created it on the plate, then you've created back on the paper. And I love that transfer that happens with so many layers and the results, which maybe I could not just draw them directly on the paper. So I think that's why I love printmaking. And I've explored many papers. I've made my own paper, but I use Japanese rice paper. I use Indian paper. I use couple of digital techniques to create the work. So there's a mix of, I make my own 3D objects. I use them in my work. So now practice has become like, it's open. And I just feel it's the beginning to explore this another world, which I've been meaning to, kind of experiment and explore.
And your journey was the same from, not obviously it's changed. I'm asking you the maybe the major shifting points in your practice. From painting, you used to paint before, then you did woodcuts. You quit woodcuts.
Yeah, I don't practice woodcut so much. I love etching because my lines have become more, like you said, more minimal and more thinner and more.
Yeah. I have 4 of your works.
Yeah.
Insanely minimal works. The 0 grams. What was that like? There's a body of work that I got from her, which is on weightlessness. So she's done these embossed works on.
Yeah.
Maybe if I have the image, then I'll share it. But can you just explain why you're choosing to be minimal. And the basic, I can't explain it, but that's sometimes how I feel. Like I felt selfless. Like I felt people have to see the image to understand what I'm saying. But why is your work so minimal, so lofty, so light?
I
And on
think
the other side, your whenever you work, your the blacks and your colors, they're very like convoluted and very mushy and all. So there's a large negative space of whiteness, and
yeah.
within that there's like one, I don't know, it just looks like
Somewhere I'm trying to capture that essence of what a memory, that transient memory means to you. So it has to have that
actually, yeah,
layer, that space that it needs, but that one little thing that catches your eye, that's what was the memory about. So
well said.
I think it's all
Go on, articulate that. That's a good point.
in between.
Is it only that, or is it something to do with? I mean, your three.
So it's the practice is a lot about this intangible space that you're exploring. This I'm trying to capture this experience of this conversation in the artwork. So it's somewhere very, um, very ambiguous. I don't know, something that you can't write in words. Something that you just have to experience. And how would you translate an experience on paper?
Sure.
Some like that.
I was speaking to another artist and she said that there's a lot of riffraff in the art world, and that I know that you can't write to save your life. You can't write like
Yeah.
when you can paint better than you can write, and so there are some requirements sometimes when an artist has to write. Like how I write curatorial notes or how I write for
You
Artistry
have to
Plus.
write, yeah.
No, I have to write. You don't have to write.
But I love to write also.
But
I write about my
one
work.
can't write
Of course.
the way use the when you read efflux emails and all this, like written like in like dense philosophical and curatorial notes. Do you feel like you just lack the words, or do you feel like you want to, because your works can be a lot can be written about your works because of being so ambiguous.
Yeah.
But you don't write that. You wait for a writer to write that.
I write a lot about my works, but maybe that's the same point of view. Like the point of view that I'm making the work, like the same perspective. Maybe
Yeah.
if you look at it,
Yeah.
it's very open ended. Like I feel like my experience is very similar to, like, somebody else can have that experience. Maybe you just didn't know
No, yeah,
when you were seeing through. Like
Yeah.
you could walk through windows every day or doors, and
yeah,
you never realized that that frame was always there when you were walking.
yeah. And that's a beautiful moment also.
Yeah.
That can be captured.
And it just happens to you multiple times mundanely every day, but we never notice these off things that actually collectively make up your experiences and your memories.
Yeah,
They could be bad, good.
yeah.
It's just that what sticks back to you.